Pastor Roy Gerhart from Galloway United Methodist Church in Franklin, Pennsylvania, sharing a few words of encouragement to help us follow after Jesus. This week we're continuing in a Words of Life pursuit, following along with the life of Solomon. And so this week we're going to focus all of our attention on the book of Ecclesiastes. Solomon is attributed the authorship of the book of Ecclesiastes. He's not named in the book, but he's described as the author, named as a son of David, a great wise teacher and king in Jerusalem. Solomon fits that description perfectly. And you may have read the book of Ecclesiastes, and you may have struggled to understand what is it all about. There are lots of quotables that come out of the book of Ecclesiastes, songs that have been written that are built upon poetic expressions that are there in the book of Ecclesiastes. There are lots of little one-liners that have come to us out of the book of Ecclesiastes. But for many people, when they read it, they cannot see it as a whole. What's this thing all about? Especially when the book repeats over and over, meaningless, meaningless. Everything is meaningless. You begin to find it just a discouraging tale, wondering what is this thing all about? If its final message is that everything is meaningless, then what am I going to gather from this? What is it that I can really find edifying to my life? Well, to get at that, we have to understand what the pursuit is, what the question is that is being asked in the book of Ecclesiastes that gains this evaluation and this answer meaningless. Right up front, the book of Ecclesiastes tells us that the author is looking for the meaning of life. He wants to know in all of the labors that people pursue under the sun in the course of their lives, what's meaningful? What is valuable? Is there any point to it all? And as he goes on that exploration over and over again, he finds it meaningless. In that search, he finds so many things that just don't add up to have lasting value. There's so many things that he says, look, at the end of the day, you die. And then what? What happens to all of your accomplishments? What happens to all of the wealth that you've accumulated? Does anyone even remember you? He says, you may pass on all that you have had and all that you've gained to someone who is a genius or to an idiot who will waste all of it. And so he said, look, if you're looking for the meaning of life in these pursuits, in the work and labor that we're able to do in our lives, you're going to be disappointed. Over and over again, he says, it's meaningless. The best resolve in all of this, he said, is that we should enjoy our lives for all that there is in them. That you should enjoy a good meal. Enjoy and be satisfied with a hard day's work, with a skill that you've mastered, with life shared with other people. He says in the second chapter, all of this is a gift from God. The ability to have all this and to do all this and to enjoy it. It's a gift from God, and so we should embrace that. Enjoy all of the things that you do in your life. But, he says, don't expect any of those things to satisfy that big question. What's the point? What's the meaning of my life? What am I here for? None of those things will answer that question. That's why he says they are meaningless. They are meaningless when we are asking the big question. And so, what's the answer? Well, he holds that all the way to the end of the book. And finally, at the very end, he says, here's the conclusion. When you distill all of this experience, all of the things that we've explored, he says there's just one answer. Fear God and keep his commands. That's the whole story. He says the one thing that brings meaning to life and that has value beyond all of this is God. And so that it's our pursuit of God that brings meaning to life, that says there is a point to all of this. And it's having God infused in all of our life that makes every day meaningful and important. May God bless you today. And as you share his good news, may God make you a blessing wherever he takes you.